Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my Lunch and Learn series this summer. I'm Helen Panos, Dynamis Learning, K through 12 tutoring, SAT, ACT prep company. We also do executive functioning and we advocate for students. I apologize for being a little late. I was having a technology glitch getting into the StreamYard system. But I want to go over, it's not going to take long, to go over the importance today of using test scores for guiding academic success in school. And this is important. A lot of people and parents may not be doing this and or asking others like a tutor to do it, but you should really be asking for test scores and really paying attention to those because they are one tool that schools use to make placements, especially in middle and high school. That they use it to guide different decisions that they make in terms of the levels of maths and readings that your and language arts that your child may go into in middle and high school. So I want to definitely impose on parents to ask for that information. If they are delayed getting it to you, shoot an email to the homeroom teacher and ask for it. If you're not getting all the details to that report, for instance, Georgia Milestones has a very detailed report that you can get. I believe MAP as well. iReady, I'm pretty sure iReady does as well. I think every test, schools tend to give you just the basics, like what's the percentile, but you probably as a parent should ask them for the detailed reports. So it'll help if you have a tutor, such as ourselves. We use that information to help guide us even more and help my tutor guide us which way to go to help fill in gaps or advance kids. So number one is I want to say test scores are a snapshot. They're not the end all be all. So they do provide insight into your child's strengths and weaknesses, any area of improvement that's needed or support that's needed. It's not a judgment call because remember, they've taken a test one time on that day at that time. It might be how they felt for the day. Maybe they didn't do well because they weren't feeling well. Number two is identify the learning gaps early. And I really want to stress this. Identify them early. I'm talking in elementary school, as early as third grade. Second grade, there's back and forth issues about whether that's a good grade level to really be concerned. But if you're seeing a reading issue at second grade, yes, I would say definitely. But learning gaps early is very important. Parents tend to wait thinking that the problem is going to get fixed somehow, but typically it does not. Scores help uncover struggles in subject matters like reading or math before report cards are ever revealed. We know report cards typically come out the 9th and the 18th week, but some school systems do the interim reports at 4.5 weeks. So those are very important. Now, the first 4.5 weeks, I wouldn't get too stressed about those. Sometimes if a kid's failing and maybe they just didn't do well on that first test, and they only have one test that's being averaged into their score, their overall score. But still pay attention because why did they fail that first test is the question. So they may need a review of those concepts because especially if it's math, it builds upon itself. So you don't want them to not have done well on their first test. It could be showing some kind of a study issue, anything like that, or a gap. I definitely want to share how someone had reached out to me last year from Decatur, and the child they thought was having a reading issue. And they really were because I asked for the prior MAP scores, which was in third grade, and then the ones in fourth grade that they took. So I could see that there was a definite up and then down. So that showed me there could be an issue there. And that really helped us tutor her and figure out which way to go and what to look for. Three is personalizing the support and tutoring. Targeted interventions, enrichment, tutoring, all of that is based on real data, really, not just guesswork. It's better if we know and have some data to go by as a tutoring company when we are tutoring your child. So keep that in mind. Number four, tracking progress over time. Like I just said, I asked for this parent to give me the third and fourth grade scores because she was now into fifth grade. So I wanted to see what happened in third grade as well. So that measures growth year to year to see what's working and where to adjust the learning plans and talk to your, it may alert you to talk to the current teacher and say, hey, I have these scores from third grade. I have these scores from fourth grade. I want you to see what happened. Is this something I need to be concerned about as a parent? If you're not sure, reach out to me. I am going to actually put my information here for you guys to reach out if you want to have a conversation at any point in time and you do have some scores that you're seeing already. We are getting a lot of calls. So they started really right after July 4th, which is a little earlier than usual. But I definitely want you to know you can reach out anytime, shares test scores with me. And I'm pretty good at solving problems. And we can take a look and see where your child is going and what they've been doing. It could have been a teacher wasn't a really good math teacher, something like that, or a good reading teacher one year, and then she got behind, or he got behind. So let's see. Number 5 is preparing for key milestones like iReady, like MAP testing, like Georgia milestones for sure, right? We don't want to wait till the last minute to look at Georgia milestone scores. You guys should have those scores now from from May that they took them. That we would love to see. If we're tutoring your child, I would use that data to see where is the problems from last year. And are those going to be kicking off immediately? And we see that when they take an iReady test early on, are those problems still there? Using test results to plan for middle and high school placement, honors classes, SAT, ACT prep, all very important. Number 6, start meaningful conversations with teachers. Use the scores to ask focused questions and collaborate on the best path forward. So I want you to keep the lines of communication open with the teachers. We, as a tutoring company, many times I'll ask you to connect us to the teacher because they may tell us something more than they're going to tell you, to be honest, because they know we're educators and they understand that we understand what's happening. It's kind of like an inside, I guess, know it kind of thing where we automatically kind of understand each other. Number 7, start make confident academic decisions, right? Whether it's acceleration you're going for, or it's remediation, or it's enrichment, data empowers the smart choices. So I want to repeat that again. Whether it's acceleration, remediation, or enrichment, data empowers the smart choices. So keep that in mind because it's very important to keep those scores up because schools are using these scores, whether it's Georgia milestones from this past year, they use those to see if they wanted to change any placements for this fall. The placements are always made in February. This is a good time for me to say this. January to February, they ask teachers to make the placement recommendations for the following year. Yeah, they already did that back in the winter. The only thing Georgia milestones can do then at that point is change a recommendation because they scored so high or they did much better than the other recommendations that they originally gave. So they can change a recommendation. They don't do it very often in May, but they can. And here's a great time for me to tell you that the first semester grades are the most important grades. They really are because they use the first semester grades to make those course placements. And I think a lot of parents do not know this. So I wanted to be very clear about that. So really, I'm surprised that parents are not using data as much as they could be to make decisions about, is your child strong enough to try to aim for an accelerated class? Is he strong enough or she strong enough to go into an advanced class? Are they in the gifted program or not? I'm going to be doing a free webinar to help parents figure out how to get their kids in the gifted program. They may have tested before and didn't get in, or maybe you've never tested at all. So look out for that webinar. When I do it, it's going to be probably the second week of school, probably around the 15th or so. So be on the lookout on my Dynamis Learning page, my personal page, and see when I'm going to be doing that because this is a great time to come on and figure that out if you're interested in that. I usually have a good handful of parents that do come on every year, And I was a gifted lead for 9 years in a middle school. So I completely understand how that works. And then I can look at test scores, again, looking at data. I can look at your prior eligibility form and what your child scored and see if it's possible, if I work with them, to see if it's possible for him to get in the gifted program or she get in the gifted program this year. So let's look at prior test scores again, and those can be sent to me so I can take a look at that and see if I can guide your child to do a better job on these tests and get them in the gifted program. So you can see that this is a very important topic, actually, and I'm surprised most people are not even talking about it. But I definitely wanted to put it on here before school gets started. A lot of Metro Atlanta County school systems are starting August 4th. A couple of them are starting August 1, next Friday. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, to pay attention to these Georgia milestone scores that just would have come out. If they have not shared those with you all yet, ask them for it when you go in during pre-registration. And make sure you get those and take a look at them. Spend a little time like you do everything else, your accounting, your taxes, your finances of your home, and take some time to look at your children's test scores. All right. Thank you, everyone. Next week, it's going to be me again. And I am going to be talking in August about the gifted program. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let me see what the topic is for next week. Oh, gosh. I will get to you guys in a second and tell you what that is. And we had a great executive functioning webinar, by the way. For those of you that signed up, it was great. Make sure you get the replay. So on July 30th, I'll be back next Wednesday. We're going to talk about reflect and refocus, empowering a successful school year. We'll talk about how important it is to reflect back into your prior school year to see what you can change for this year. And I'll have a nice free gift offer for you then. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.